Good morning, y'all. It's Timothy. I haven't posted in a while, so I'm doing it today. I gotta say, I could just say the words I hate telling men about any fucking thing ever, and actually fuck it, let's do it. I hate talking to men about things. Y'all don't know what the fuck y'all are ever doing. Ever. Like, I just got back from seeing my fuck buddy last night, and like, it finally started sinking into him that he can't keep pulling the, oh, well, I mean, I only cheated on my ex-girlfriend because she didn't have sex with me that often, she wasn't fucking me good, and I had to look him in the eyes and say, motherfucker, you can't keep using that as an excuse while asking people to feel sorry for you, in saying that you loved her and that she broke your heart. Cause imagine how she feels. The guy she was with for 2 fucking years cheats on her with hella bitches, going raw with other bitches, nutting in other bitches. Why? Oh, because she sees him every day and has sex with him like up to 2 times a week. Because her sex drive isn't that of her porn addicted boyfriends. And he's trying to make it seem like he's the fucking victim. No, sir, you make victims. You're a horrible fucking person. And I just straight up told him that your sex drive is your own problem. If you just didn't feel like you were compatible sexually with her, you should have either talked to her about it, you should have gone to therapy, or you should have just broken up with her and found someone else. You should have been decent. Instead of 2 years, like, no, 1 year into the relationship, you started cheating. And then, like, she gave you a chance. So she was like, let's go to therapy together. And also, let's work on our honesty and communication, and I'm giving you another shot. And then you went, okay. And then, at the first chance you got, you cheated on her again. And you want people to feel sorry for you. Like, yeah, I still find him pathetic and sad, and I do feel, I'll put it this way. Even though I think a lot of people who cheat should get the death penalty because they're really fucking awful people, I still feel kind of bad for him. But only because he's very pitiful as a person. Now, that's just one instance. Two, I do not like talking to men about things, like any single time there is even the slightest hint of intimacy, aka any sort of sexual encounter, even the most vaguely hinted shit ever. A motherfucker will find it a way to make it all about him or all about sex and take it from like -2 to 100. Like you could say something like, oh yeah, I had a summer fling that worked at that location. The food there was amazing. It was always a beautiful vibe and I really loved the scenery in that area. And the nigga will be like, haha, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, flings, huh? You into casual sex? What kind of positions do you like? What's your favorite position? Do you like sloppy head? I love sloppy head. And it's like, my brother in Christ, why are you telling me this at the fucking office? I didn't even mention sex. I said a fling. You can have flings without sex. Jesus Christ. I could be ranting on my motherfucking story like, oh yes, I love being celibate, especially after like being sexually assaulted in the past or just dealing with like really awful men. I really appreciate that I just do not feel any urge to have sex with some bummy ass nigga for validation anymore. And then here comes even more bummy ass niggas who said, oh, I heard the word sex, so hey bitch, how do you like it? You wanna come to my house and fuck me on my mattress on the floor? I remember I had 3 fucking dudes do that when I was literally ranting about celibacy and how I hate men like that. They are so fucking stupid. It's like, how are you listening to the video, but also not listening at all? It's like the dedication is baffling. And anyway, I had this coworker, he quit. Like, I'm just gonna say this about him. He was slow as fuck. I'm sorry. Like, I'm changing as a person because I'm using words for people that I would have not used a decade ago. I'm trying not to use the R word anymore. I had my little phase for the past few months because I was around a shitty person. But also, then again, I can always pull the, hey, I've been disabled and in special ed since fucking like 5 years of age, if I recall correctly. I'm gonna say it sometimes. For the same reason I, as a gay person and a trans person, can say a whole bunch of bad words that I'm choosing not to say. Or me, as a black person, I can say nigga. So I'm pulling that card. If I am disabled, and I have a permanent P on my bus card, so that people know, okay, let her on for half off, because something is up with her. I'm going to call you that word. Not out loud, but just on the internet and in my head. There we go, learn something controversial about me. Anyway, let's move on. I do not want to say the R word anymore, though. I think it's still bad to use, and it's offensive towards minorities. In general, do not say it. Don't do it. Learn from me. Do not do it. It's not good for the spirit, and it's an ugly, nasty word. But I will say, some motherfuckers really have me wanting to say it at the top of my lungs, and they are the topic of this video. My coworker at some point asked me out, like, and it came out of the blue. I knew he was attracted to me. That was obvious because, I could come into work and he's staring at my tits or lingering hella long, and it's like, okay, whatever. But he asked me out. He showed up on Valentine's Day. He was like, oh, hey, I got you this candy. I just wanted to know if you were, like, free on Valentine's Day. Maybe we could go on a date or something. That was really fucking hot. That was sexy. That was, like, excellent. He was like, okay, shit. I didn't find him that attractive, but I found his energy and the way he came about it very respectful, very poised, and excellent. He totally ruined it with his fucking personality the more I got to know him. He's the type of guy where he could be, like, texting you and be like, oh, hey, so what kind of tattoos do you think you'll ever get a tattoo? And I'll say, oh, I like tattoos on other people. I think they're cool. I'll probably never get one for myself, though. Like, just probably never. And then he'll be like, okay, cool. How about you? Do you think you'll get a tattoo? Mind you, we're texting, and that I already responded. So at first I was like, maybe he just didn't get my response. I say yet again, oh, no. Tattoos are cool for other people, not for me, though. I'm never going to get it. I'm not interested in tattoos at all. And then he proceeds to ask me, LOL, why though? You look so good with a tattoo. Why wouldn't you get one? And I, yet again, have to say, because I'm not interested in having anything permanently inked on my body, tattoos just don't interest me, and I'd never plan to get one. And he was like, oh, LOL, that's a shame. You should totally get one if you ever have the chance. I said, okay, interesting. Anyway, and then he proceeded to ask me, so when do you think you're going to get a tattoo? That's the most annoying shit ever. If you want a tattooed bad bitch, go find one. Stop trying to convince me to get a tattoo, or also, why would you ask me the same shit 4 times in a row? So, already from that encounter, like that alone, was one of 2 reasons I did not meet him on Valentine's Day. Or actually 3. The 3rd reason is I just simply realized, I'm not attracted to him and I don't want to waste his time, money, or effort. And he made it weird at work for a little bit, but moving on, he got over it, sort of. He drunk called me, let's not talk about it. But he and my fuck buddy, and several other men I've met these days, seem to have this thing where you could tell them something and they will immediately say something that is the absolute reverse of what the fuck you just said. Like, I could be hanging out with my fuck buddy, having sex, obviously, because that's what he's good for. And then next thing you know, he'll be like, oh, how are you feeling? And he'll see me collapsed on bed like, tired, exhausted. I feel like I'm about to faint. And this nigga will look me dead in the face and be like, oh, cool. You want to get on top during sex? Or I could be like, yeah, my room is cluttered as fuck. I'm doing tons of laundry. I have like 3 different bags of folded up clothes that I have to spend time sorting and organizing today. It's going to take a lot out of me. My room is practically unwalkable. And then his very next sentence that he started, before I even finished mine, is, oh, is the room nice and tidied up now? And then a few minutes later, when he dropped me off at my place, he asked to come inside. And I just gave him the longest fucking stare ever. I also do not like talking to men about age of consent or anything regarding sexual assault at all. That's actually the reason why me and my ex-boyfriend broke up. If anyone was like, why is Tamia single? It's just simple. The nigga was weird. He had so many opportunities to be honest with me about some shit, and he didn't, and then it's like, okay, cool, now you're getting broken up right before fucking Christmas, and you can be sad if you want to, but that's not my problem. Like, for context, how do I even tell this one? I could tell him a story or something off of Twitter or some news article where it's like, oh my god, this girl got raped when she was 16, and then 3 years later she met a man who she married and had a kid with, just to find out that was her rapist from years ago. He recognized her and still married her. Like, and she never knew he was the rapist. Like, that man targeted her and just purposely baby trapped her and financially trapped her, his victim. And that's obviously a horrific fucking story. Like, imagine being raped and you find out that your husband was the guy who did it years ago. My ex, bless their fucking heart, they're very stupid. I still love them in my soul, but they're very fucking stupid. I'm going to say it. I'm sorry, I need to say it. They said the words, oh, well, unless she had a fetish for, like, consensual non-consent to anything back then. But, then that would be fine, but, And I literally had to pause, and I never talk to my ex crazy, or at least very fucking rarely. But this was one of the first instances I looked at him like he was the dumbest motherfucker on this planet, and I said, why are you talking about consensual non-consent? What does that have to do with the conversation about a teenage girl getting raped? At all? Like, from context clues you can see that she was raped. There was no fetish, she was raped. She hated it. And then years later, when she was coping with it, she got married to a guy who ended up being the guy. And then I had to spell it out for him. And he was so fucking shook because he really didn't expect me to give a damn. And it's like, yeah, sir, I don't appreciate you saying, why the fuck would you say that? I don't know, sometimes it's scary when you talk to a dude and then you realize he's like fucked up in the head. Like, you know, another ex I had, you know, scary. He was stupid, but in a way where it's like marriageable kind of stupid. But thank God the red flags popped up very heavily at some point so that I knew to dip. With his ass. I remember once he tried to be all, oh, this chick on Reddit was talking, he pulled it up on his phone. He was like, oh, this chick on Reddit is talking about how she was being, like, you know, how her husband was having sex with her in her sleep. And I was like, oh my God, that's so messed up. And then he was like, aha, yeah, wait, what's so bad about it? That's a very terrifying thing to hear from a person. And if you don't get why, that's a form of rape. That is rape. That's rape. And if you don't know that it's rape, then you're a scary person or you're a victim. I'm sorry. You're it's either sides of that coin, both are bad. And I had to say, because you can't consent in your sleep, you don't know if your partner wants sex, why would you want to fuck your partner when they're asleep versus waking them up for sex? Why can't you do the type of sex you want when they're awake and can actively say yes? Because what if you're having sex with them and they say no? Or like it's like, yeah, just why, what are you doing to them? Sorry, why? I forget. I'm hoping that most of y'all have common sense on here, so why am I even bothering to spell it out for y'all? Even though I know on YouTube my fan base is mostly horny men. And it's just scary in general when you're talking to a dude and then you learn how they really see, like, their partners or women, and sometimes even themselves. It's really scary and terrifying. You'll just casually hear the most degrading, fucked up shit ever. And it's like, oh, you're kind of evil and dark-sided. You have a black hole where your heart is. Plus, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gender fluid, but I know about y'all probably don't give a shit. I know what I look like. Whatever. I'm not against calling myself a woman at times, just for the sake of, I did it for the past 20 years or so. Maybe. So I'm okay with, like, another casual 2 years of, I know what I look like. I will call myself a woman because I'm gender fluid anyway. A form of non-binary, a form of trans, whatever. Anyway. I also just don't like having male coworkers, especially if I need to, like, work beside them. For a lot of reasons. Because, yeah, like I said, you could just be chilling at the desk. Just chilling. And then a dude will be all, hey, how you doing? You got a man? You got Instagram? You got Twitter? What's your number? What, I can't get your number? You can't have it? And then they will not stop. Relentlessly. I remember I had to tell someone that I was, one, only attracted to strictly old white men for money, and two, only into women. And they, an African-American young male, the same age as me, we went to high school together, that still didn't stop him. And I straight up just said, I lied about that first part. I'm only into women. Don't even try your fucking luck with me. But the fact that he kept persisting is, I don't like persistent people. I think it's gross. Like, if it's already established that I don't like you off the bat, and we have never dated, never been a thing, you have no reason to be persistently trying to convince me that I'm a bad person for not wanting to fuck you. Especially if it's a workplace environment. And also, like I said, niggas will be weird. You could be sitting at your fucking desk job, and then niggas will come up to you talking about, ooh, I really like African sex specifically. And it was funny, this is the same guy. He kept trying to talk to me about, yeah, I really like the way African people have sex the best. I think they fuck in a way that white people never ever can. I really want to research like African tantric sex in the Kama Sutra. Meanwhile, they're saying this shit loud as hell, and everyone can hear you in the fucking workplace. Or even if it's a dude you don't know that well, it could be like, I'm just trying to clock off work or clock into work, and a nigga will decide, I'm gonna stay and linger at this chick's desk for like 8 minutes to an hour, just as long as I fucking can, and start talking to her about shit she does not care about. I'm gonna start educating her on World War II. She never fucking asked. She has been quiet this entire conversation, but I'm gonna keep talking to her all about BMWs and Germany's fucking war vehicles and all this annoying shit. Or worse, they'll do shit in like a weird passive-aggressive creepy way where you can't even fully report it. Cause, you know, it's like, oh, okay, how do you report to HR? Yes, this dude is just straight up arms crossed on the desk, staring at me like this as if he's in love with me, looking me up and down on my body over and over and over and over. Plus, I really don't like talking to men about sexual harassment, because whenever you talk to a woman about sexual harassment, they get off the rip. Why? Because every fucking woman knows about sexual harassment and has been sexually harassed. There's hardly been a woman on this planet who has not been sexually harassed. And if she hasn't, then fuck. I'm impressed. Like, what kind of life you lead, girl? Shit. I think the only people who have not experienced sexual harassment are those who were probably born inside of, like, confinement and have never, ever been around a person, ever. But even then, that's rare as fuck. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. Another reason I'm happy my ex is an ex is because I could talk to him about, like, oh, wow, yeah, I was in public, and then this dude who was supposedly a pastor at a church, he would not stop being like, oh, hey, girl, you are looking mighty blessed. Mighty blessed. Mighty blessed. And he would not stop staring directly at my eyes, then directly at my ass, then directly at my eyes again, then directly at my tits, over and over and over, like, at least 8 times in the 20 seconds of us talking. Very creepy and making it obvious. And my ex, despite not being in the fucking situations, despite not being in the room, tried to basically gaslight me and be like, oh, what? So he just was, like, looking at you during a conversation. Ooh, so scary. And then I'm gonna say 2 things. 1, when my ex first met me on our very first fucking date, they stared at my tits the entire time, too. They did. So I already know this is the type of idiot who thinks that ladies are blind, and that we can't tell the difference between eye contact and staring at your tits the entire time going, uh-huh, yeah, wonderful, hey, how you doing? Yeah, we can tell. We're not fucking dumb, but they are. And that same ex, when his older brother openly did the same shit to me, like mid-conversation going, yeah, for a whole 3 seconds before walking off staring at my tits, that ex didn't do shit. So, no offense, that ex is an ex for a reason, and they can feel bad about us breaking up all they want. I don't really give a shit. I don't give a shit. Yeah, so in a nutshell, I hate men who are entirely oh, I forgot shit. Let me mention this, too. I hate men who are entirely dismissive of, like, women's emotions, feelings, words, and also just do that thing where they wait their turn to talk. I know this video's been long enough, but we can tell when you're doing it. Like, that's exactly why I get especially annoyed at people who say the exact opposite of whatever I was saying. Or make me repeat myself. Because it's like, oh, you would have been listening had you actually, you know, you would have got the answer the first time had you actually fucking opened your ears. God damn, this is a 18-minute long video, and I didn't even get to the original topic. I was gonna say, it was supposed to be such a light video. Like, less than a minute. But the main point I was going to also get at is, I hate talking to men about music because they're pretentious little shits. Ever. It's the worst thing I hate ever being asked by someone, especially men, is what kind of music I like. Why? Because if I play any of my songs, they're going to say this shit is hot garbage. It doesn't matter what genre. It could be rap music, it could be pop music, it could be R&B, vocalization, opera, country, fucking underground noise music, slut pop. They will not give a single shit. No matter what it is, they're going to act like they're superior in every fucking way. And that you have to absolutely find them fascinating because, ooh, they know about Tupac and Biggie. Oh, cool. But, oh, I'm a fake bitch and some sort of needy attention whore if I dare listen to Project Pat for their, like, oh, you're doing that for attention. Or, oh, you just want to impress me. No. I just like 3 6 Mafia, bitch. And then finally, I hate talking to men about anything related to tech. They get so pretentious. Like, camera dudes. Like, I can handle a camera dude. I can handle a camera dude. Oh god, I have so many more examples, but I might save that for a part 2 video. I can handle a camera dude. I do not like PC Master Race dudes. They creep me the fuck out. If I have to talk to you, and I'm like, oh yeah, I play video games, and they go, ooh, what console? And then I have to say, oh, I play Steam on my, like, laptop, and then they go, that's not a PC stands for personal computer. It stands for personal computer. You can be mad at shit if you want. Okay, change the fucking acronym then. And then they'll be so fucking pretentious and start going on really long fucking rants, saying that I'm the R word, or saying that I'm pathetic, and that my laptop's a piece of shit, and that I'm not a real gamer, blah blah blah. Boo-hoo, nigga. Shut the fuck up. Cry about it, bitch. I'm gonna keep playing Sam & Max on my shitty little Dell Inspiron 2-in-1 fucking tablet laptop, and I'm going to have a wonderful time. Eat it. I also hate any man who, like, off the bat assumes that you don't know shit just because you're a woman. Like, just because you got titties or a pussy, or happen to be attractive, or even worse, they'll disrespect you even harder because you dare to be a woman and unattractive. I think that's so funny. I don't like it when men do that thing where they go, oh yes, yeah. Like, a man will, you could say something totally innocent, and then a man will debate against you as if you're wrong, just to then say the exact same opinion. And then it's like, okay, sir, did you need any sort of clarification from me? Or, because we are on the same page. It could be something harmless. I could be talking about a video game from, like, 2012 that still hasn't been developed, like, a decade later, despite having over $1 million in funding. And then a nigga could be like, well, actually, no, what happened with the Andy or Dev is, and then just repeat what I said, just with a few words switched up, and act like it was their idea, and that I'm some feeble-brained female who needs to be taught this shit. Like, see, okay, I'll put it this way. I have called people cunts plenty of times in my life, but I hardly ever say it to someone who is not a cunt. It's very rare that I see someone, and I called them a cunt, and I am incorrect. I called my ex's mother a cunt. Or was it a bitch? I don't know, I forget. Probably both. I called my ex's brother a cunt. I called my ex's other brother a dirty motherfucker. I called my ex's sister a cunt. I called my ex's other sibling pathetic. I called my mother a cunt. I called some old teachers cunts. I've called that one specific dude who ranted to me about video games and would not stop finding a way to shit on every single thing I said conversationally. I called him a cunt. And always in the moment, like, once the heat dies down, I feel bad, but years later I can proudly say, no, these motherfuckers did suck. And I'm glad that sometimes I have a shitty little wild tongue, because it ends up protecting me from really shitty people, whether I like it or not. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, so any day that I gotta talk to a weird-ass nigga is a bad day, but it's okay. As long as you recognize that you're just smarter and better all around, and that you're not a weird-ass nigga, then cool. And shout out to those who are not weird-ass niggas. We love you. The types of niggas who can watch a video of a lady talking for 20 minutes and not only pay fucking attention, but not be offended. Why? Because they are not a weird-ass nigga. We love y'all! Men who can talk to a woman and make eye contact and not stare at this or this. They can stare at the face or the mouth, or if you're artistic, at the fucking wall. I will respect that. Cool. 1 glance is okay. 2, whatever. But you should not be don't be one of those weird niggas that also decides to stare at a woman like you've never seen a fucking woman before, or like a pair of legs in your fucking life. That's pathetic. Alright, this video is long enough. See ya. Have fun. Take care of yourself. Get some sunlight. Happy spring and summer.